A group of friends were out exploring Black Star Canyon in Orange County when they took a photo they thought would be just another memory. But when they looked closer, something didn't add up. On the left side of the image, hidden in the shadows, there appeared to be a faint figure of a young boy, though they were sure they were alone. Creeped out, they posted the picture in a paranormal group, hoping someone could explain it. But everyone in the comments agreed. It wasn't a lighting glitch or pareidolia. Something or someone was really there. A group of young women were enjoying a peaceful day at the waterfall. Two of them waded into the water for a quick swim, laughing, unaware of what was about to happen. Then, without warning, a rock slide came crashing down the cliffs behind them. Massive stones tumbled violently, landing terrifyingly close. It could have ended in disaster, but somehow not a single one of them was hit. They emerged from the water completely unharmed, shaken but safe. A Reddit user was visiting the cliffs of Moher in Ireland back in November. It was a cold and windy day, but clear enough for photos. Later, while reviewing the images, she noticed something strange. In one photo, everything seemed normal. Distant tourists bundled in jackets and beanies. But in the next shot, something odd appeared. A lone figure stood on the rocks, tall, thin legs, and what looked like an unusual hat. It didn't look like any person, and it hadn't been there when she took the photo. A few frames later, another figure appeared, this time at the top of a staircase. People nearby looked normal, clearly dressed for winter, but this thing, it looked weird. She uploaded the photos, asking what others thought. Some said it could be a trick of the light, others wondered if it was something else. Whatever it was, she didn't see it in person, but the camera did, and that somehow makes it even more unsettling. Savannah Escoto took her 4-year-old daughter Isabella to visit her brother's grave at San Fernando Cemetery in San Antonio, Texas. But the moment turned eerie when Isabella suddenly stopped and refused to sit near a tree, claiming she saw a girl's shadow behind it.
What is it? Come here. Why don't you want to go sit down over there?
Because I'm scared.
You're scared of what?
What is the shadow?
What girl shadow?
What's that? Behind the tree.
Behind the tree?
As Savannah turned her phone camera toward the tree, something unsettling appeared. What looked like a pale, translucent face peeking out from behind it. Strangely, the cars behind the figure were visible through the face. Was that what the daughter saw? A man living in the Appalachian region had briefly stepped away from his parked car, but when he returned, the window was shattered. But strangely, nothing was taken. Instead, something had been placed inside. A twisted dark briar root lying neatly on the front seat. While most would worry about the damage, he seemed more disturbed by that root. In Appalachian folk traditions, such roots are tied to spells, sometimes for protection, sometimes to curse. In this case, it felt more like he was being cursed. This woman was out hiking in nature when she spotted something truly unexplainable. A triangle-shaped craft hovering silently in the sky. No engine noise, no movement that matched any known aircraft. Could this have been a genuine UFO sighting, or is there a more logical explanation for what she witnessed that day? A Facebook user posted an old photo they found of their mother-in-law and her cousin taken in Southport, Florida in the early 1960s. What caught their attention was the faint figure between them, unmistakably human, yet blurred and distant. The photo's owner says it resembled a family member who had already passed away when the photo was taken. It remains a quiet family mystery, one no one ever forgot. Harley switched on his back trail camera as he pushed deeper into the thick forest. The terrain was steep, rough, and remote. As he hiked, he came across snapped trees, strange archways, and what looked like makeshift nests scattered along the path. Then, all the signs pointed to something watching him from the woods. He snapped a quick photo and left immediately. One snowy night, a young woman was walking alone around a reservation. The streets were empty and quiet, until they weren't. A loud scream echoed through the night. She turned her camera in every direction, but there was nothing. She was completely alone. To this day, no one knows what it was. A driver was cruising down a quiet road and mistook a dark patch for the shadow of a tree. Without hesitation, he kept driving straight toward it. But it was a massive crater. The car fell in, leaving it badly damaged. Luckily, no one was hurt, but the shock was real. In 2009, a video called Yellowtop Bigfoot was uploaded to YouTube, showing a creature with yellowish hair on its head walking through the woods near Colorado's Rocky Mountain National Park. Recently, it gained attention again after being reposted. Some compared it to the famous Patterson-Gimlin Bigfoot, but the similarities were weak. The creature looked small, walked clumsily, and had human-like arm proportions. Eventually, the original uploader admitted it was fake and part of a short film promotion. Just a man in a suit, after all. A man, along with his friend and loyal dog Thomas, was exploring abandoned houses and eerie forest trails one night when things took a chilling turn.
Thomas, যখন আলাদা করতে চেয়েছিল, তো তখন কিন্তু আমি কাছে ছিলাম, তখন আর কি পরিস্থিতি হয়েছিল সেটা যদি একটু বলতেন।
হ্যাঁ অবশ্যই বলবো ভাই, একটু অপেক্ষা করুন।
A yellow orb briefly darted across the screen, followed moments later by a strange pink aura. It was probably just a cameraman's finger, but then a smoky mist seemed to fall over him, completely unseen in real time. Later, they saw this.
আপনার করে কি যে Thomas,
A human-shaped shadow standing between two trees. It vanished, but the feeling of being watched remained. A woman was on a solo hike and decided to take a long break at a quiet spot doing some yoga, when suddenly a man showed up. Out of all places, in a quiet 7,000-acre forest, he chose that exact spot to stop and rest. He stood there for minutes, just watching her, pretending to be on his phone in a place with no cell service. She sat down to face him, while the man stood there, still trying to make a call. She wanted to leave, but he was blocking the trail. Then suddenly, when she started packing up her stuff, the man sprinted off. She took the chance to go off trail so he couldn't follow her. Eventually, she made it back safely to her car. She has no proof the man meant harm, but the whole thing just felt off. And even if he was just resting, he should have known better. It's just creepy. A family from Oregon went for a casual walk in the woods and snapped a few photos, including one of their young daughter. Everything seemed normal until they got home. While checking the pictures, they spotted something strange. Next to their daughter stood a tall figure, completely transparent, draped in what looked like a cloak. It wasn't something they had noticed while taking the photo, it was only visible in the image. Even creepier, their daughter was looking up directly at it, as if she had seen it too. I wonder if they asked their daughter. While driving down a quiet highway in Mexico, a man spotted something strange on the roadside. A group of people stood still around a lit circle of candles. It didn't look like it was just a roadside gathering or celebration. It felt like something dark, something forbidden. Without slowing down, he pressed the pedal and drove off fast. He didn't want to know more. Whatever that was, it wasn't meant to be seen. YouTuber Jenna Alexis, known for her peaceful solo camping videos, had planned a quiet bushcraft trip deep in Crownland. She crossed a river, set up her shelter, and started filming. Everything seemed calm at first, but things quickly took an unsettling turn. Though she didn't film the moment directly, Jenna mentioned that a white SUV pulled up near her camp. Inside was a man, just sitting, watching. She brushed it off, thinking maybe he was just checking out the area. But then he came back. Same SUV, same behavior, no words, just staring. The third time he returned, something in her gut told her this wasn't right.
I'm not even taking the time to pack up nicely because I just want to get out of here. Okay, goodbye to the campsite that once almost was. I don't think I left anything. Barely got everything in my bag because I didn't fold everything properly. I'm just trying to get out of here. I have half of my stuff in my food bag. It's gonna be okay. He's not here right now. This is where he pulled out to, and he literally took a look at me and turned around and pulled out. But I know it was the same car. It was like a white SUV with a bag over the back of his window, and he turned around and I saw that same bag. So yeah, I'm fucking out of here. Even if that guy didn't mean any harm and he was just trying to camp here, I don't like when somebody knows where I'm camping when I'm by myself. I want to be hidden and unseen, and I don't want some man to know that I'm alone in the woods. I'm coming back to my van. Okay. Back of the van. That was a mad dash. Luckily it's not dark out just yet, so I'm gonna head home. I don't like driving in the dark, but even in the van, I don't really want to sleep out here.
She didn't hesitate. She packed up fast, barely organizing her gear, and rushed back to her van. Whatever his intentions were, Jenna didn't stick around to find out. A man was halfway through his hike somewhere in Japan when he saw a train approaching. Thinking it would make for a scenic shot, he grabbed his camera to film. But viewers noticed a strange detail. Someone appeared briefly on the other side of the tracks, then vanished the moment the train passed. Locals couldn't help but connect it to the legend of Kuchisake Onna, a ghostly woman in Japanese folklore known for hiding her face and asking strangers if they think she's pretty. Whether the answer is yes or no, the outcome is grim. And honestly, I don't have anything to prove that theory wrong. Late one night, a man on a motorbike had to brake suddenly. Standing alone in the middle of the empty road was a strange woman. Something about her felt wrong. She didn't ask for help, she didn't speak, she simply walked, slowly, straight down the center of the road. The area was deserted. Cautiously he inched closer, and suddenly, without warning, she turned and bolted. What was she doing there? If it was just a woman, what was going on with her? And if it wasn't, then what did he really see that night? A TikTok user recently posted unsettling footage from an old cabin in Oregon, one her sister had been renovating. From the start, the place felt off. Strange things kept happening. But one day, while sitting in her car outside, the sister heard something unexpected. A landline phone ringing inside the abandoned house. Weird enough on its own, so she started recording. And then they saw this.
So, there's nothing hanging there. Fucking, what the fuck is that? It's creepy. It's gotta be something. I don't know what. What the fuck? It just fucking, what the fuck?
A dark shape slid silently across the balcony. It didn't move like a shadow, it moved like it was alive. Viewers quickly called it a shadow figure. Some even said it looked like a woman dressed in black. The uploader was adamant, no one else was around. She'd been there all day, alone, and would have noticed a visitor. Plus, with limited parking and the cabin's remote location, the chance of someone sneaking in unnoticed seemed almost impossible. Shaken, they didn't investigate right away. Inside, the cabin was just as disturbing.
That porch, like that's where the door, okay, that's the door, right there. It's black, there's nothing in the door. There's nothing in the door right now, anyway. This is the outside of one part of it. Yeah, this place is just, it's insane. Okay, so here's the end. Okay, everything scares me. It's getting dark and I don't like being even right here. Yeah, this is the inside. I mean, just look. Like, there's like, the sink is like 1950s. The stove is 1950s something. Yeah, this place is just, so it was a husband and wife who lived here. The husband died, I believe, first. I'm getting out of here. When it's more daylight, I will, I'll show you the inside better. Here is the stairwell, okay, that you see. There's the porch. And here is the doorway in question that, like the notorious doorway that had whatever. Look at these are like notes still that, from Emily, the daughter. And these are from the lady who died here. And then, oh, I hate it in here. I mean, it gets even creepier once you go downstairs. I'm not even going down. Well, okay, I said I'd do a walkthrough.
Old, handwritten notes from someone named Emily were still scattered around. The sisters mentioned hearing that a man and woman once died on the property, but no solid details could be found. To this day, no one knows exactly what they captured that afternoon. So the question remains, who or what was on that balcony? A group of women was driving near a quiet park when they decided to leave. As they approached the exit, they noticed something odd.
Wait, what the fuck is that? Wait. Oh, fuck.
A strange figure suddenly appeared from behind a tree and sprinted toward them. They hit the gas, leaving the man behind. Who was he? And what would have happened if they'd waited? Was he actually dangerous? On the morning of May 9th, 2025, a group set off on a fun trip. But then, they noticed a car trailing them closely. So the driver did the polite thing. He pulled over to let it pass. But instead, this happened.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
A classic ambush. Quick, aggressive, and dangerous. Thankfully, the driver didn't freeze. He acted fast and got them out of harm's way. The footage was handed over to the police, and while it gave investigators a solid lead, as of July 10th, the attackers are still on the run. While browsing properties, a Facebook user stumbled upon an eerie listing, an old house in Live Oak, California, priced at just $39,000. But one photo stood out. There was a pale, hollow face in the frame. When the user reached out to the agent for clarity, that particular image was suddenly blacked out. The agent claimed that most of the pictures had unexplained ghost-like figures. The user ran the image through editing software and found there was no editing in this photo. The figure had no visible eyes, just deep sockets, sunken cheeks, and a high forehead. It resembled a woman and didn't look alive. Since then, the house price has somehow tripled. While exploring an abandoned hotel deep in the Shenandoah Mountains, a group stumbled upon a strange shed on the property. Inside, they found newspapers and posters of missing people, along with local arrest mugshots pinned to the walls. Beside the shed was a sealed barrel with a block placed on top. Though it looked suspicious, it only contained a red liquid, likely transmission fluid or some kind of chemical. Adding to the unsettling vibe were bedsheets nailed across the interior walls. The whole scene felt more like a serial killer's hideout than an abandoned storage space. They still have not figured out who did this and why. Meenan set out to explore an abandoned house deep inside a dense forest in India. The place was so isolated, the only way to reach it was by crossing a narrow, slippery log over a river. Before starting, he placed a static night vision camera near the log to monitor his crossing. The house itself was empty, overran with bats, snakes, and lizards. After a bad fall inside, Meenan decided to leave, but on his way back, something felt off. As he crossed the same log again, a shadowy figure appeared behind him. It then vanished every time he looked. When he checked the footage later, his fear was confirmed. Something had been following him. On June 17, 2025, Chris camped near Willow Creek in Pendleton County, a place known for abandoned homes and strange activity. He set up his tent and started his overnight investigation. As night fell, natural sounds faded.
But you hear that noise between the frogs? I think that's a coyote, but hear that? I don't know. Never heard that noise back here before. Oh, and I already started the old step 2, Steve Wallace style. Got some Southern Comfort in there. Trying to get relaxed, trying to fill this area out. Listen to my surroundings.
Unusual howls and footsteps echoed around him. Using a spirit box, Chris recorded some chilling words. It said "Mom," a detail that hit hard as he carried his mother's ashes with him. Suddenly, something slammed into his tent.
give you all a few more minutes, and then we're gonna call this quit with this stuff. Then we're gonna go out and walk around and see what we can get into, see what we can find. And then we're gonna call it a night. Hey! Hey! What the fuck was that? Jesus Christ. Something just literally jumped on this tent.
Despair.
Who is out there? Did you all see that? Okay, we're gonna put 7.8. This shit's going haywire. This stuff's going haywire. This stuff's going haywire. This says despair, skeleton, leave. I'm gonna tell you, I'm shook up, guys. Seriously, I don't have a clue what that was. Whatever it was is big. I pushed it away, and I didn't hear no footsteps. Hello?
It was forceful, but there were no footsteps before or after. When he checked outside, the area was silent and empty. Nothing explained what had just happened, and honestly, nothing explains why some of you still aren't subscribed by now. On July 3rd, 2025, two separate witnesses recorded something truly strange in the skies over California.
Look at that streak across the sky, y'all. 2:48 in the morning. What the fuck is that? This is a long streak across the sky here at 2:48 a.m.
Many are now calling it the Rainbow Bridge. In both videos, a glowing arc of multicolored light stretches high above the landscape. What makes it even stranger is that both clips were captured from different locations. No official explanation has been given yet. Was it just a rare weather event, or something else entirely? While out with family in Oregon, something truly disturbing happened. Up ahead, someone blocked the road. Sensing the danger, the driver didn't hesitate. They threw the car in reverse and sped back. They narrowly avoided what could have been a very dangerous confrontation. If they had waited even a second longer, things might have gone terribly wrong. Thankfully, they made it out unharmed. One quiet night in Williamsburg, Virginia, Robert Earl White sat on his porch when he heard heavy stomping echoing from the woods. It wasn't normal forest noise.
Did I just see a skinwalker?
Alright, no lie. I'm on my back porch. I heard someone stomping in the woods. Something huge.
He looked toward the trees and saw a pair of glowing eyes staring back at him. When he recorded it with his phone and zoomed in, the figure behind the eyes was revealed. It looked almost human, but its skin was ghostly pale, and the way it lingered felt off, like it didn't belong in this world. Many viewers agreed it looked eerily similar to a skinwalker. While camping in the woods, three friends knelt by the campfire for a photo. But when the film was developed, something strange appeared behind them. A blurred figure stood there, arms folded, though none of them remember anything being present. A medium later claimed there were multiple spirits in the photo, pointing out several unnatural light streaks and faint faces hidden in the image. Some say it's just smoke, but how does smoke take on a shape so detailed, so human? Jennifer and her friend were at a party on the outskirts of a small town in Mexico. After midnight, curiosity got the better of them. They decided to test the local legend, the story of a ghostly woman in white said to wander the roads at night weeping. As the party wound down, nearby dogs began barking, loud and restless.
Plebes, acabó la función. Andan los perros ladre y ladre acá afuera porque dicen que después de las 12 se aparece una señora que no sé qué, de blanco, que fue cadenas. Pero nosotros ahorita vimos a los perros y empezamos a oír ruidos. Y aquí andamos grabando. Ay, no, ese es un perro. No, yo no me quiero ir más lejos, me da miedo.
While laughing about the tale, Jennifer suddenly noticed the dogs grow more agitated, staring into the darkness. That's when they saw this.
Mira, 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 mira. No mames. No chingue.
Out of nowhere, a pale figure in white appeared, and from a distance, the sound of quiet crying could be heard. Could it really have been her? On May 26, 2025, a man posted a photo on X saying his tour guide had shown it to him. In the picture, one man walked toward the camera while another took a photo with flash, accidentally capturing something eerie. Behind them, a pair of glowing eyes and a large humanoid shape stared straight at the lens. What do you think? Pareidolia or Bigfoot? In 2023, a woman ventured deep into the woods searching for her missing nephew. He had just been discharged from the hospital. He was supposed to head home, but he never arrived. While navigating the dense forest, she felt the eerie sense of being watched. She instinctively pulled out her phone and began recording. At first, nothing seemed unusual, but when she got home and rewatched the footage, she noticed something chilling. For just a split second, someone or something moved between the trees. Sadly, her nephew was never found. And that one strange, silent frame is all she has. In broad daylight, this group was driving along the BR-281 highway in Brazil when they spotted something strange. A dark figure slowly walking along the roadside. From a distance, it appeared to be someone in a long black cloak. Some viewers shrugged it off, just a person passing by. But others weren't convinced. This stretch of road is remote and notoriously dangerous. Few people ever walk here due to the high risk. And this particular area is infamous for frequent, unexplained accidents. Some blame the poor road conditions, others believe something paranormal might be at play. So, what did they really see that day? In May 2019, a fisherman in the United States set out on a solo trip, filming himself along a peaceful blue line stream. The day seemed calm, quiet, nothing out of the ordinary. But later, while editing the footage, he noticed something he hadn't seen in the moment. Just beyond the tree line, a large, dark figure briefly stepped into view, then vanished back into the woods. Some viewers called it just a shadow. Others were convinced it was Bigfoot. But here's what really stands out. A faint white mark can be seen, almost like a face. And to me, that alone makes it clear it wasn't just a shadow. So, what did he really capture that day? A TikTok user was camping in the woods one night when something strange caught her attention.
Domino, what is that? What the hell is that? Hey!
A strange figure is seen moving in the distance, walking on two legs, but the low light makes it hard to identify. The user later showed the same area in daylight, revealing it's a remote forested location, making the figure's identity even harder to pin down. who would be walking out there in the middle of the night, dressed in white? 3 bikers are riding down a trail in Mount Seymour, Canada, when a black bear suddenly appeared and started chasing them.
Yeah, maybe.
He coming this way?
Yeah, it's walk right there. He's running. Yeah.
Black bears can run up to 30 miles an hour, so even with brakes, they were in real danger. The bear didn't stop and kept following them closely through the forested path. After getting some distance, the riders stopped and quickly planned their next move.
Oh, we're all just gonna stand up, put our bikes up in front of us? Yeah. That's here. Oh. Okay, go. No. I know we all stand and put our bikes. We gotta stay together. We all be big. Get out of here! Good! Ah! Keep your butt. Ah! Hey! Hey! Oh, he's followed us for a while. Holy
Yeah, I just want to like walk backwards down the trail. I don't want.
I see him still.
So we slowly just. Hey, come. Hey! Down here, bear! Keep going up. He's still there.
Now he's taking off. Now he's going around.
Realizing they might crash if they kept fleeing, they chose to stand their ground. They positioned their bikes between themselves and the bear and eventually managed to scare it off. A brave choice, but apparently a good one. One night, a Reddit user was walking through the woods near their home when a strong, foul smell stopped them in their tracks. Curious and uneasy, they followed the scent, which led them just off the trail. There, in a small clearing, they found something deeply disturbing. A dead chicken lay in the center of a crudely drawn pentagram. Surrounding it were strange objects, carefully placed, suggesting some kind of ritual or offering. The scene felt freshly disturbed, like whoever had been there left it only moments earlier. Whatever was happening in those woods remains a mystery. In this recently resurfaced image, something large stands half submerged in the water. According to commenters, its visible height above the surface appears to be around 6 feet. If the water is even 2 feet deep, that would make the figure at least 8 to 10 feet tall. There isn't much background information available about the photo, so the possibility of a hoax can't be ruled out. Still, it looks so real. This guy had planned every detail for his surprise proposal. A sunny day, a hidden friend, and a beautiful location. But the moment he pulled out the ring, something terrible happened.
Oh, Jamie, no! Oh my, no! Oh my.
A sudden rush of water swept him off balance, sending him and the ring straight down the waterfall. Luckily, he came out unharmed. But now, the couple is left wondering if it was just bad luck, or some kind of warning from the universe. 2 friends were out fishing on a quiet lake in San Benito, Texas, when one of them spotted something odd near the shore.
Okay, so it's something, a dog or what? Oh, la verga!
At first glance, it looked like a dog drinking water. But then, to their shock, the creature stood upright, on 2 legs, like a human. They claimed the figure was completely covered in hair. Though the footage they took was grainy and shaky, when stabilized, it clearly showed the figure moving strangely, running off on all 4s like an animal. Locals have whispered about similar sightings before, calling it the Dog Man. Could that be it? A Reddit user was walking alone down a quiet road in a forest when they stumbled across something bizarre. Several unopened IV fluid bags were dumped near the sidewalk. There was no clinic nearby, no ambulance in sight, just these sterile medical pouches lying abandoned under a streetlight. Turns out they weren't random trash. Most likely, they were part of a home delivery medical supply meant for a ventilator patient. People in the comments suspected a porch pirate had stolen the package, thinking it was something valuable, only to ditch it once they realized it wasn't resellable. It's an eerie reminder of how carelessness in theft can endanger someone's life. In 2022, a group of paranormal investigators ventured deep into the woods. That's when they stumbled upon something truly unsettling.
Looks like a satanic cult spot, honestly. Why is this made? Like, who? It's just like stuck on.
What appeared to be an active ritual site. At the center of a small clearing sat a burned out fire ring, surrounded by carefully arranged sticks. But the strangest part.
No way.
A doll, completely untouched, sat perfectly at the very center of the fire ring. The placement felt intentional, as if whoever performed the ritual had just left. Some believe it was voodoo inspired, maybe a summoning, maybe a ward of protection, or maybe a curse. Whatever it wasn't meant to be found. While hunting in Salt Fork State Park, Ohio, a man suddenly noticed something unusual.
See all the hair. You'd be stupid to walk out here in a suit. You'd get shot. He's right behind that tree. The big... Look. And his hair's gray and black. Is that gray? Is that snow? That's not snow. It's gray. Brown, gray. Can't tell.
A large ape-like creature was moving silently through the trees. It was covered in grey and black hair, towering and broad, too realistic to be a costume, and frankly, too dangerous for anyone to be dressed like that in an active hunting zone. Some believe he may have encountered the Ohio Grassman, a legendary creature said to build grass nests and roam the rural forests of the region. Sightings of similar creatures in Ohio date back as far as 1869. Around 11 p.m. in Kentucky, this person was skywatching from their balcony. A quiet night, clear sky, until they suddenly heard something disturbing. A sharp whistle, coming from just 20 to 30 feet away. Local superstition warns, never whistle at night, and never respond if you hear one. The area was silent, no people, no movement. Just that single whistle echoing through the trees. When she looked toward the sound, she spotted something strange in the bushes. It might have been just shadows or a trick of the eye, but something about it felt off. So the question remains, was it just a coincidence, or was something or someone out there? In 2022, a TikToker captured something strange flying high above during his hike.
Wait, what the? Where is it? I can't find it. Oh wait, focus. That is not a fucking bird. A hawk doesn't turn orange.
Moments later, 4 military jets appeared to chase it.
What is that? Dude, I can't get on my camera. What is this, dude? Wait, look. What? Oh, dude, they see it. What is that?
Many called it the clearest UFO sighting on record. In 2020, the Pentagon released videos showing Navy pilots tracking unidentified objects, but they admitted they had no explanation. So I guess it remains a mystery. The Study Sasquatch team, Kirk, Shane, and Dave analysed thermal footage of a bipedal figure in the woods. Unlike the clear thermal images of humans showing backpacks and clothing, this image showed no gear at all. No backpack, no hat, no clothing outlines. Just a clean heat shape even at 200% zoom. Later footage showed hunters with visible gear, reinforcing the contrast. In another clip, a heat signature briefly peeks from behind a tree. They even recreated the first footage. The team called it inconclusive, but the lack of visible gear makes it stand out from every human captured by the same camera. Late one night in rural Brazil, something truly terrifying happened. A jaguar, likely desperate and hungry, wandered inside a family's home. The residents had no choice but to scramble onto the roof for safety. Thankfully, no one was hurt this time. At exactly 2:54 AM, this Ring camera captured something the owners still can't explain. A strange light appears in the field, shifting shape before silently fading into the night. At first it might seem like a bug, but compared to the insects seen in the footage, this light behaves completely differently. They also noted that there's a road just to the right, but no cars pass by, no headlights, no reflections. So, what was it? If you have any idea what they captured that night, let me know in the comments. In rural Thailand, a group of guys went exploring an old farm at night and spotted this. At first, it seemed like just a person wandering, but they claim this figure appears and vanishes without warning. Locals believe it's the ghost of May Nak, a woman who passed away during childbirth while her husband was away at war. According to legend, her spirit pretended to be alive when he returned. Once he discovered the truth, she began haunting the village until a monk sealed her spirit. Still, many villagers believe she roams freely, and so do these guys. Willie was out camping alone, but the quiet was broken when he spotted a man standing in the trees near his campsite. The man appeared briefly, said nothing, and vanished into the woods just as quickly. No one else was staying at the nearby sites, and Willie hadn't seen anyone else on the surrounding trail. The stranger didn't greet him or act like a fellow camper. It didn't feel normal. Willie couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right and left shortly after. On August 5th, 2024, a strange video titled Jabba's Cascade Bigfoot was uploaded online. The footage shows a large, dark figure hunched over in the distance. It moves in a way that doesn't resemble a person. Its stride is too wide, too unnatural. At one point, it seems to notice someone nearby and immediately retreats, trying to avoid being seen. But no one knows who filmed it or where exactly it was taken. Does that make it creepier or just less trustworthy? A group was live streaming at an old cemetery when they captured something strange on camera.
Like noble out. Does it say so? Just for the grass.
The graveyard, filled with worn tombstones, looked quiet at first. But as the camera panned, a semi-transparent figure suddenly moved across the screen from right to left. So fast, it was barely noticeable. None of the crew seemed to see it in real time. Some viewers later suggested it might have been cold breath from a nearby person, but it looked denser, more defined, like it had shape and movement. Whatever it was, it didn't seem like just cold. Something was there. A person posted this photo online, claiming to have seen Bigfoot while camping. At first he thought it was a bear, but bears don't walk like that. Still, it was too far away to see it clearly. So he grabbed his camera and took a photo, planning to zoom in later for a better look. That's when he noticed. Its body looked more ape-like, but apes don't live in the wild there. It wasn't clear what it was, but naturally, the first thought was Bigfoot. A man named Leroy Torres was out with his family one night in Ecuador when they noticed movement in the back of the truck in front of them. Curious, they began filming to make sure it wasn't just their imagination.
Sí, sí se ve, ahí se ve. Ahí estamos viendo, aquí en la carretera Naranjal, unos niños son una sombra. No hay gente ahí, mi gente, créame. Estamos totalmente sorprendidos y asustados al mismo tiempo. Estoy viajando con mi familia. Se ven unos niños que juegan en un carro que está totalmente vacío en la parte de atrás. Es algo increíble. Tenemos el miedo total aquí en el carro, pero en nombre de Cristo no va a pasar nada.
At the time, Leroy and his family brushed it off as something paranormal and moved on. But when they later posted the video online, some viewers feared the shadows weren't ghosts at all, but possibly kidnapped children. What do you think? In November 2016, a small group went hiking through the thick forests of Bulgaria. They snapped a few photos along the way, like anyone would. But things took a weird turn after they got back. While going through their pictures, something caught their eye. In the background of one shot, they noticed what looked like a grey alien figure hiding among the trees. They hadn't seen anything strange during the hike, but now they weren't so sure. Some people argue the photo could be fake, others believe it looks real. I'll leave it up to you to decide. A group of 6 friends set out to hike Yosemite's Half Dome. By midday, they had reached the summit, but were caught in a sudden lightning storm. Bolts began striking the surrounding rocks, and in a terrifying moment, 2 members of the group were hit, one in the leg, the other on the back of the head. Both briefly lost consciousness and memory, but eventually recovered. Disoriented yet alive, the group took shelter in a cave until the storm eased. They then made the dangerous descent down the slippery granite. Fortunately, all survived. On June 16, 2024, a strange photo began circulating on Facebook. It showed a tall, fur-covered figure, but something was off. Its arms hung much lower than normal, and its body looked unusually thin and upright. Very different from the Bigfoot seen in classic sightings, like Patterson's or those reported in Ohio. Nothing about this figure matched what we've seen before. Some began to wonder, was this even a Bigfoot at all, or could it have been something else entirely? While climbing Mount Rinjani in Indonesia on June 21st, something truly devastating happened.
Everything! We're here with you!
A Brazilian hiker slipped and fell 600 meters into a deep ravine. Miraculously, she survived the fall, landing on a narrow ledge. But she was stranded for days, battling freezing temperatures, heavy rain, and thick mountain fog. Rescuers located her and managed to send down food and water, but treacherous terrain and relentless weather kept them from reaching her in time. After 4 long days, her body was finally recovered. Sadly, she had passed away, the harsh conditions proving too much to survive. Exposure, exhaustion, and the isolation of that narrow ledge ultimately claimed her life. Officials say delays in communication and poor coordination slowed the rescue. Mount Rinjani's trails remain closed as the investigation continues. In 2018, a video surfaced claiming to show the elusive Honey Island swamp monster. It was originally shot by Harlan Ford, a retired air traffic controller deep in the Louisiana bayou. Locals say this creature is over 7 feet tall, covered in dark grey hair, and gives off a foul stench of decay. Its tracks are bizarre, webbed like an alligator's, yet shaped like a man's. Then it vanishes into the thick swamp mist, leaving behind only fear and speculation. Late at night, someone spotted a strange figure in a white robe on their trail camera, set up in an empty field. The area had no houses nearby, no lights, and no signs of life. But the unsettling part is that the figure didn't seem lost or confused. It moved with purpose, and then quietly vanished into the darkness. The person who captured it swears it was real, but they also can't explain who or what it was. A group of hikers were deep in the woods when an unshakable feeling crept over them, like someone or something was watching. One of them raised a flashlight and aimed it into the trees. That's when they saw this: a pale figure in a white dress standing completely still among the branches. Her face looked off, unnatural. She didn't move, she didn't blink, she just stared. The group slowly backed away and left. Not one of them dared to look back. To this day, none of them can explain what they saw in those woods. A man flew his drone over a dense forest when he caught sight of a large, fast-moving figure below. Its stride seemed longer than any human's, and it seemed to glide through the trees with ease. As the drone hovered closer, the figure slipped out of view, quickly disappearing into the thick canopy. Was it Bigfoot or just a person? A family was hiking through a rugged trail in the Teton Range when they were suddenly caught in a violent hailstorm.
Ow! Look at this hail! Oh my god, this is huge! Ow!
The sky darkened without warning, and within minutes, hailstones came crashing down, forcing them to sprint for cover. But with no shelter in sight, things got scary. Fortunately, the hail didn't last long, and everyone made it out okay. A lone hiker was deep in the wilderness, soaking in the quiet and losing track of time. After wandering for hours, he reached a spot surrounded by thick pine trees. That's when he heard heavy movement. Something big was crashing through the brush on the other side. Expecting to see a large animal, he pulled out his phone to record. But what he caught instead was chilling.
Holy shit.
Definitely no ordinary animal. While exploring an abandoned gold dredge, this man took multiple photos to capture the eerie atmosphere, unaware of what he had just documented. On the left side of one of the images, a strange face can be seen. It didn't appear in any of the other shots, and there were no obvious reflections or particles that could explain it. Some dismissed it as pareidolia, while others believed he had truly captured something disturbing. The photographer now plans to revisit the site to investigate further. Until then, the face remains unexplained. A British tourist was walking across a frozen lake in Finland when he spotted a massive handprint in the ice. It wasn't just bigger than his hand, it was bigger than his foot. In Finnish folklore, giants are believed to have shaped the land, creating lakes and mountains. These stories have been passed down for centuries. Locals who know the legends couldn't ignore the resemblance. A man went into the woods at night with his dog for hunting, but suddenly he heard a loud cry.
They don't sound like no goddamn cow. The hell she get?
She's getting something. Get it, girl. Watch it. Watch it.
His dog froze, focused on something in the dark. He told the dog to check it out, but then the sound came again.
Come on. Bite. Come. Don't. There's no way, dude.
He immediately called his dog back and left. Later, he posted the video online, but so far, no one was able to identify the sound exactly. A couple hiking deep in the Canadian wilderness had their peaceful walk interrupted. As they wandered through the forest, the husband suddenly froze, took the camera, and focused on something crouched far off in the trees. The footage shows a hairy, human-like creature hunched and still. As the camera zoomed in, it lost clarity, and just then, the creature stood up and ran away. Was it human or not? A woman was swept away by a powerful undercurrent near a waterfall in Indonesia. Despite an intense, days-long search, rescue teams couldn't help find her body. But soon after, a clip from that day started making its rounds online. In the footage, a young woman is seen standing quietly in the water, completely unnoticed by the rescue crew around her. The person filming didn't recognize her, and no one remembers seeing her at the time. Later, the video was shown to the missing woman's parents. They claimed the girl in the footage was their daughter. Though she didn't necessarily look ghostly, it's definitely an eerie story. Now, share your own creepy encounter below, and let's see what's waiting for us in the next video.